And of course, it goes right on autoplay. But oh well, fuck it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crazy House tonight. We got so much to cover and so much fun to talk about. All these beautiful changes, and I mean, there is changes like crazy. Um, I'm surprised some other people didn't want to come on and say a few words, but it's early yet. I'm sure some people will be popping in. Right now, we have Devious, we have Sonia, we have Killer Queen, we have Nutcracker, we have the Doctor Phil in the house.
I gotta call you on this every week. The immortal Dr. Phil. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, not every week, but I like screwing with you a little bit.
It's like Jack Sparrow. No, Captain Jack Sparrow. It's the immortal Dr. Phil.
You're damn right.
A little bit. If I don't mess with him, though, his head gets big, and no, I got to mess with him. All right, so of course it's me, Roy Boy, who nobody really gives a shit about. So we're gonna get into this, all these crazy update notes. Now, there is a lot to cover, and we have.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot to cover. So I know one of them's going to get a little heated, so we're going to let Phil run through the updates and fixes first. Then I think we're going to get into the.
I have a list. Don't worry, they're all in order. We can go through them one at a time.
Well, I know, but I think we're going to close out with Storm Chaser's a little speech as he put
it. It's right there in the last tab.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably the best bet. Before that, I think it would cause so much drama we'd get to nothing else.
Oh, well, yeah. There's a reason why I wanted to read it out. It's because it was on so many levels. It's everything we thought. So
All right. What Queen? Quick. What?
I said hey to everybody on YouTube, and I was actually still on the YouTube as Battle Vortex.
Oopsie. Shame on you. Oh wait, who cares? I love you anyways. We're moving on. All right. Go for it.
All right. So the following changes and fixes are being applied in the Thursday, January the 31st update. That was a few hours ago. So Shadow Ops Blinding Light. Let's push back the Red Locust and earn parts for the Sentinel's unique unit, the Shepherd. Wielding specialized bombs, the Shepherd can turn enemies against each other. Interesting. Warpath Ultra. Double the attacks, double the fun. 5 in Spartan leaderboard, double blood thorium, double medal payouts. The market has also been updated with the following heroes and tokens that will be Kyle, Neil, and Martin. The content changes are as follows. The resource and thorium base update, increased payouts, new loadout, and blitzing await in the new metal, oil, and thorium bases. We'll go over those in a little bit. Raid update, the following diamond tech has been added to raids, the technical, the Sphinx, and the Seeker. And the diamond tech has been removed, which would be the Hammer, the Caretaker, and the Hades. All available diamond tech can be found. The technical tech, Sphinx, Seeker, Apollo, Vindicator, and Liberator. War production. Due to player feedback, war production has been changed so that it won't stop when an enemy attacker retreats their units. So there. How's it? Yeah, it doesn't stop in the bloody kicksite bases, so I don't see why it should stop in the player bases either. Because that is always a thing. Moving swiftly on to Shadow Ops. Chapter 1 briefing. We already know about that because this is the Shadow Ops briefing. Update the image, dumbass. Phase 1 begins Friday, February the 1st. And you know how that works every Friday for 3 weeks until the next event. Now, the Shepherd. The Shepherd is a high-altitude flying fortress that drops bombs. Oh, it's a new Herald if it's high altitude.
Yep.
It's a flying fish.
Wait! I gotta say something right here.
It's another Sentinel unit too.
Queen, we were right. It was air.
those bastards are taking over.
Yeah, and it's a flying fish. Look at it. It looks like a damn fish.
But remember the conversation when we just were trying to figure out what it was going to be next? I mean, you kept
Mhm.
saying air, and everybody argued with us.
Yep.
We won.
I wasn't there, so I can't count as part of that.
But did you know it was going to be a sentinel?
Did you know it was going to be a flying fish?
It's
Can I
the-
carry on when
Yeah.
you children are done arguing?
Oh yeah, sure.
Go. Have fun.
No.
So of course it's another Sentinel air unit, so that's would be the Herald's new big brother, and drops bombs that apply turncoat to nearby units. Turncoat causes enemy units to turn and attack each other. Enemy defenses will also target units affected by turncoat. Interesting. So the same thing applies with the arms caches. We have tech for the Lancer. Increases reload by up to 20%. Increases range by up to 30% for rifle barrel. Concussion rounds. Shot concuss nearby enemies. That's nearby infantry, of course. EMP shells shock nearby buildings and vehicles. Interesting. Cardio increases movement speed and acceleration by 40%. And the ordnance increases splash size by up to 30 and increases all damage by up to 30%. Now, the one that out of that particular list, the one that catches my eye is that one, the EMP shells. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the Lancer is because I missed that briefing and I missed 2 shows because I did some things.
Well, it
The
obviously
Lancer-
won't work on this faction.
Well, the Lancer is the new survivor infantry. It's like a 2-man howitzer team.
Is it
And-
sustain?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it a sustain unit?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
No, it's not.
Look.
It's an
It's not.
updated. It's an
And that is
updated.
useless.
Phil, it's an updated mortar team.
Yeah,
so
then
he's asking sustain or burst or.
both of those shells are completely the concussion rounds maybe, but EMP shells won't work unless it's rapid fire. It's a new shock tech. Kixeye have only ever put out one other shock tech like this before, and it was charged ordnance. And half a dozen of the developers that have come on since then and come on to now have always said that putting that in the game was a mistake. So it's either going to suck or it's going to be that overpowered that they will instantly go nerf it when they figure out they fucked up again.
Yeah, we'll find out one way or the other.
They get
Yeah.
nerfed.
Indeed.
Go on, Phil.
Any questions before I move on?
No, I'll
No.
move on.
Nope, I'm good.
Good. So
Burst
let's-
damage.
yeah, okay. It's still gonna suck. So apparently, while I was busy doing life stuff, they decided to finally, after 7.5 years, update the bases. This is the new biggest update since the bloody Iron Strike 60. So they're despawning Thorium 75s and 80s and the Iron Strike 60 from January the 31st at 12 a.m. PST. That will be in about 7 hours' time. Please note that you may get kicked out of the bases when they start despawning. So they're changing a lot of the bases.
That's already been done.
It's
Yeah,
already gone through.
it's already rolled.
It's already on the map live.
Yep.
It's a quick scroll through. Metal and Oil, they've gone through 7. Anywhere from 1.4 million all the way up to 850. So you could fill your base with 1. Really, yeah, but that's fine. Thorium now is 750 to up to 50 million for Thorium 5. The only change I have noticed this before, the only change in here is they've pulled a whole bunch of the old Spec Ops and put some newer ones
Oh,
in.
yeah. Hmm.
So Hookers, VIP, Rome, Terrible 2, Sirius, Tail, Scorpion King, and Titanic. For common, Forward Op Base, Burn Notice, Skyfall, Technical Drift, and Twin Titans for uncommon. And the Operative, Double Agent, Anti-Personnel Shell, Slow-Mo, It's Electric, and Hand of Malachi is a red drop.
People have been getting it.
So there you go. January 31st after downtime, blah, blah, blah. Everyone already knows that's the thing.
Well, it's pretty nice that you can see on there how many versions there are of the 50 and whatnot. And all the way back down there. So at least there's a little bit of variance there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's rumors of people are talking about, oh, they're gonna take Master Loot away of this. If they do, I really do think there'll be an uprising, but I don't see them taking Master Loot away.
No, because my very first 50 that or level 5 thorium that I hit, it gave me that.
So I don't see Master Loot going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. I don't see Master Loot in the list, but
No, and some of that's covered in Storm Chaser's little speech there. So
all right. So this moves on to something that Roy wanted to dust over before we go into the hour-and-a-half bitch fest that Storm Chaser's post is going to be, because I've already read it, and I have let's see, a page and a half of notes on that one too that are my own shit. So the Ultra Warpath from February the 1st until February the 4th. The Ultra rules. The attack limit increase. Attack individual players twice while Warpath Ultra is active. The 10-minute PvP hit will be disabled in Warpath Ultra. Double prizes and double blood thorium and double medals at the end of Warpath. And Honor, everyone knows how Honor works. Everyone knows how the permanent protection works. Standard damage protection is 4 hours for Warpath. That's a decent looking trophy.
Ooh.
I like that. I prefer the diamond than I do the platinum because it's a little bit more bloody.
Yeah.
Of course, the diamond's top tier, so yeah. So you could pick up to 12 thorium and 300,000 medals on this one.
Kill.
Even if you hit one guy, and even if you hit one guy, get 1 honor, you still get 1 blood thorium because it's double. And Kixeye, I'm gonna say this is Kixeye maths again because 00 is still 0. So I'm gonna call you out on that one. You need to
Well, at
send
least
the guy
at least they didn't do times 1. They just put 1.
Yeah, they just
so
basically.
they changed it to 1.
Yeah. At least
So
it's
as
not
long
times
as you
1.
hit something, you're going to get something.
Hell, you'd still get 50,000 medals just for hitting 1. You could go hit a level 3 for Christ's sake and pick
No
up 50
shit.
honor.
So if you get nothing, shame on you.
Yeah, no shit. All right. So the blood market update obviously is the Kyle, the Neil, and the Martin tokens for those guys. And that brings us neatly on to.
Now,
Storm
before we go there, before we roll on to the storm, and it is going, I'm calling it the storm. Let's talk about Warpath a little bit. I know what we do. I know Phil wants to get over there just because it's going to raise holy hell. But we're gonna hold off for a minute and just get on to talk about Warpath a little more detailed. Then we can start.
I'm cooking a grenade in my pocket here.
Yeah, you got a grenade in your pocket and you already pulled the pin and you're trying to throw it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I saved 6 blood thorium because I knew the Kyle was coming out. I've already put him on there. I just haven't actually done it yet because something was running and I've been waiting, just let it run out. So people are going to have this leveled up. So if they already got them leveled up, don't sit there and go cheat, hack, crybaby. Oh, I'm sorry, that last one's mine. The people are out there. I know somebody that had 18 of those things saved up. So don't be aware. Don't go sitting there crying about that. But everybody plays.
He's got a funny level thing and I can't beat him anymore. Oh,
Yeah.
Get with the program, a-hole.
Yeah, everybody's going to play Warpath differently. There's some people that just go out to a certain sector and just hit nothing but dead bases.
Which you can do.
Which is, it can be done because Kickside left enough dead bases on there to defeat everybody. I mean, you don't have to actually hit somebody that's alive.
But that's no fun.
I agree. That's not how I play Warpath. I usually tend to piss a few people off. Then there's the people that will hide in their bubble because they'll take a bubble right beforehand and ride that 36 hours out. And when I say right beforehand, literally 1 minute before Warpath starts, they get hit. They take a 3-star, they ride their 36-hour bubble out, and then at the last 30-something hours, or they friggin' hit, and, hey, that's fine. I have no problem with that technique.
No, I've done it.
I mean, that's just a technique.
It's a fairly good tactic, to be honest.
It is. And then you got other people that will literally run and hide, dodge and hit and run. Fine. Nothing wrong with that. The ones I have a problem with are the simple people that literally will sit there, go after a couple people, and then they will sit there and use their alts to keep them in as many bubbles as they can to avoid getting hit.
Yeah, that's a bullshit tactic.
Now, look, I understand feeding your clan and maybe letting your clan hit you before you can take a 4-hour break. But if you're going to sit there and keep you got like 10 alts, which I know somebody that does this, and I called him out on it in the PM. I said, why don't you try Warpath the right way this time? And he turned around and said, hey, I got my 10 alts. I'm going to hit myself 20 times.
Who gives a shit?
I think that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but who gives a shit?
I told him, why don't you play Warpath like it's meant to be? But
if they don't, that's their problem.
I just think, go ahead.
People don't like playing it everyone else's way. If it's not their way, it's something else.
No, I just have a problem with that one way. I just have a problem with that one way. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Sooner or later, I'm going to get smashed. I know, I usually do. Somebody's going to get me. Usually, lots of somebodies. Usually at least 5 or 6 somebodies.
Yeah.
So be it. I'll take my 4-hour break. Thank you. Give it to me. You know what? Hell, it's just the way it go. I get my 4-hour break. I'll take it and I'll relax.
Yeah.
And usually when I go to work, I'm going to get hit. It's just the way it works. I'm going to get hit. So be it. I mean, that's just the way it happens. It's the way it rolls. I mean, I don't get upset about it. It's Warpath. If I don't get hit, that means I didn't piss enough people off. And for me, that's unusual.
Well, it's with Warpath, it's one of those. You can either play it the safe way and come out at the last 36 hours and just go to town on everyone that already has honor, which I've done it. It's been done by a bunch of people. It'll still get done by a bunch of people.
Yeah,
it's not that hard. But if you're going to pussy out the entire fucking time and get all of your alts to bubble you, yeah, that's exploitative behavior. And to be perfectly honest, you should be wiped from the fucking map for the privilege.
Yeah. One of the things I think I guess it is an exploitable thing for you to take a selfie from yourself. But I've seen people do it, and I usually don't say much. But now this guy's got 10 alts, and I'm going to take 20 bubbles from yourself. Now that's excessive.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
So,
Which would be moving on, yes.
Move on.
What's the purpose of that besides saying, "Oh, look, nobody could hit me"?
Because
It's the lazy way to do it.
That's the extreme lazy way. It's extreme lazy way. He's going to hit nothing but dead bases, and when he's done, he's going to hit himself and take his 20 bubbles.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, basically.
I'm kicking my own ass.
So look, I can't say it's the way I'll play. I won't play like that, but I really wish some people would take and stop worrying about using their alts to hit themselves 20 times or so.
Yeah.
And just go out and have a good time and relax. I mean, if anybody has the best example of this, it's Champ. I have literally watched him drop in a sector, say, my base is empty, whack me. And they sat there hitting him for, I don't know, a solid 2 hours. He kept on popping. And then when they ran out of people, though, he had a good fucking time.
Because they can't hit him again.
They couldn't do shit, and they were so busy trying to get their own honor that they weren't caring. They weren't jailing him. They weren't doing nothing. They were just, and he was whacking them away. I mean, he had a damn good time.
I'm
That's
so
the way
glad
they
you
do it.
said. I am so glad you said he was whacking them away instead of saying whacking them off. I was waiting for you to say whacking them
I
off.
knew better with you around. He was just having a good old time, and of course, you know, after a while, Champ got bored and moved on to the next sector because he also likes to defend. He's not just a hitter player. He likes to see what people can do.
I'm trying to scroll up and I can't.
And one of the best things is about people like that is he had a good time. And I mean, I've seen him get frustrated because he'll get DC'd, but I just like how he plays Warpath, and that's just my opinion.
Well, he's damn good at it.
Oh God, he's damn good at Warpath. He knows what to do, how to do it, and how to also make people go nuts.
Well, what you do, you get into a sector and you say, ring the dinner bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm here.
Come and get me, bitch.
Wait for them all to hit you, and once they've hit you, then you smash the sector. It's easy.
And I've seen a lot of people have a good time with this. So to me, I've changed I've had a meeting with my clan. My clan and I have changed the pattern how we're going to do this. We're going to have a good time, we think. Hopefully, we will probably get in a little deep in a couple areas we're going to go to, but it's going to be fun, and that's what.
When don't you get in deep to something, buddy? I know you well enough to say that.
Lately, it seems like I'm in over my head in everything I do, but hey, that's the way it
Story
works.
of your life as well.
Anyway, where were we?
All right, so I want to ask the panel, how do you plan on playing this Warpath? And normally I always start with Devious, but I'm going to give him a break first, and I'm going to ask Nutcracker, how are you planning to play your Warpath?
Well, last Warpath, I didn't bother going anywhere and hit anything but dead bases just to prove a point. And I ended up with I think it was about 17, 18,000, I think. And I gave some away to some of my guys and ended up with about 15. And it proved a point. But this time round, I'm going to be going hunting. I'm going to go jump in a sector because it's such a good laugh. And it's so much fun. And I'm going to say, ding, 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 dinner bell. Wait for him to hit me. And then I'm just going to have some fun.
That's it. That's it. Queen, what's your plan?
Hit one base at a time.
One base at a time. That's the way to do it.
I mean, that's really the only plan I got. I don't know where I'll start. I don't know where I'll end, and I don't know what I'll do in the middle. I'm just going to go one base at a time.
Okay. Happy, what about you?
I like Nutcracker's plan.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. It really isn't. Sonia, what about you?
Kill as many bases as I can when I have a chance.
That works too.
I don't mind that one. What about Devious?
I'm just going to walk over everybody. Watch out. Watch
you
out.
Start at my base, Devious?
Hey, I'm hitting anybody that's open. If I get an honor from you, it's coming my way.
Okay.
I'm going to crap on everybody's porch. There you go, Socrates.
All right, so Warpath, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go ring the dinner bell in a couple places first, and then I'm going to go around to a couple sectors. But I want to ring the dinner bell I really want to challenge myself on a couple people's bases, and I know they got good bases, so I'm going to go say hello to them first. Just to see, I want to see what I can do, what they can do, and see how my new base design holds up.
Man, Roy's just going to turn up. Honey, I'm home.
Maybe not honey, but it might be something like that.
Hey, motherfuckers, come kill me now, bitches.
Now I'll just turn up and go, ding, ding, ding. Dinner bell.
We'll see how it goes, though. I might just leave my base empty for a little while and, troll along and see how it goes. Just because it's empty doesn't mean I'm going to let you in just for free shots, just to let you know.
And for everybody who doesn't read the update notes or anything that's posted, if you get hit by the same person twice, don't be surprised. It's legit.
Oh, you know
Don't
somebody's
break
going to be.
Oh, the people.
This is Warpath. You can't do that. Yeah, well, we drew
You
up
can now.
dumb.
This time you can. That's why it's called Ultra.
So you know there's going to be a lot of. You're a hacker.
You're
You
not
know
supposed
you're
to hit my face.
No, you're an illiterate turd. You didn't read.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try to have a good time. Yes, I know this. Queen can contest. I've got a very busy schedule this weekend because she knows what my schedule's like. Happy knows what it's like. Devious knows what it's going to be like. But I am still going to play this Warpath. So get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to be on a short-term policy. I'm going to be running over everything as much as I can.
That'll do it.
No, we're not giving out what sectors we'll be rolling into, but I'll tell you what. If you guys want to try my base, I'm willing. I don't care. I'll let anybody pretty much challenge my base. I'm not going to go into this. Don't hit me bullshit. It's a challenge, I'm going to tell you right now. Usually, if you hit me, and they know I'm going to hit you back. It's usually like, I don't know, 15 people behind me that'll follow you or go right behind me trying to get into your base as well.
Now, Roy, that's bullshit now.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. I didn't say I'm not going to tell them no. Now, what I want to clarify a couple of the other rules. They did change one of the rules. Let's cover this again. We got the 10-minute rules going on. Which one is working and which one isn't?
Okay, so the 10-minute timer between bubbles is not working. That's the one that they've disabled for the duration of this Warpath.
Okay, so basically that means what? I want to
That means if you get a bubble and you pop it, and that guy gets hit again, he will go back in that bubble.
Okay, so you all copy that. So you cannot sit there and train them.
No train.
No train right now. All right, what else is there that we need to be clarifying?
Let's have a look.
Because I want to make sure
That's the only rule.
Is that the only rule that's going on right now?
That's the only rule that is currently going on.
Just means Thomas the Tank Engine won't be there.
Yeah. So be aware, your bubbles are going to pop every 4 hours.
Yeah, your bubble will pop every 4 hours. Standard Warpath rules.
Yeah. Now, also, guys, remember this. There is some sectors that are allied to you, but this is Warpath. Sometimes accidents will happen. Don't cry and go make a hysterical war for your whole clan over an accident. It does happen. I mean, shit. Usually I'm the one that does it for my clan, though. All right, so does everybody think we covered Warpath enough?
I think so.
Now, I gave Devious the privilege. He's going to read these notes coming from Storm Chaser.
Oh, boy.
Devious asked me, and he never asked for anything, and he does so much for the show, so I said, absolutely, without a doubt. Devious, this is your few minutes, but I'm telling you right now, everybody, get ready for their hand grenades, shotguns, and whatnot, because I'm guarantee there's going to be some hot moments going on.
Nah.
When I was going through the forum and I ran into it, I seen it and I thought to myself, I got to read this again. So I read it again, and then I thought to myself, all right, I wonder if everybody's reading this or just passing over it. But one way or another, I'm going to ask Roy if Roy will let me read it, so that way we'll shove it down your throat so you can get the idea of what I was looking at. Anyway, it was a Storm Chaser, A New Dawn. This was 2 days ago. He posted, "Greetings, commanders. It's been an exciting start to this new year, and I wanted to touch base with everyone about what we've been doing and what plans we have for the future. We've finally taken a step towards rebalancing some upgrade times in the game with the building upgrade cost rebalancing we did this month. It's my belief that many upgrade times in the game had grown to become unreasonable." He's not alone, obviously.
No.
"We took some time to define some better standards for what the newest levels should cost, and we'll be looking to maintain those standards in the future when new levels are released. such as new CC. I'm guessing. Hopefully, in the future, I'm hoping we can do some similar reductions to unit upgrade times, especially on some of the older uniques, and also improve the availability of the parts to acquire them. The positive changes we've been making have not been limited to the content of the game, but also how the game is played. We've added the ability to quickly view any coordinates on the map by clicking on the coordinates widget and entering in whatever coordinates you would like to view. We've started sorting our ever-growing list of units in our UI by different generations to make them easier to find in our upgrade and production buildings and in the workshop. We've added the ability to make multiple purchases of prizes at once in the stores, and in some cases have shown how many of that thing you already have as well, to make it easier to see how many you still want to get. It's been brought to our attention that a number of players were cheating by either using software or hardware to augment their gameplay and make it so they could attack another player faster than someone could possibly do without using those cheats. To even the playing field, we added the A hotkey shortcut for attack and the S hotkey shortcut for scout so that everyone has the same chance at starting the attack first. I've recently been asked by a player what my thoughts were in regards to PvP, and this is where my interest is. When I first started playing the War Commander years ago, PvP was nearly non-existent. Then the rewards for doing PvP were substantially increased and people started to care about it. PvP battles have increased dramatically and it has become a significant part of our game. However, in getting there, we've unintentionally encouraged some player behavior that is really not fun. Now that infamy matters for its associated rewards, some players will exploit every system in our game to keep as much of it as they can. Attempting to amend our systems to stop or discourage these exploitative behaviors is proving to very tricky without unintentionally affecting legit PvP gameplay. We need to proceed very cautiously. When we did a survey on PvP and exploits, we got a lot of good and some bad suggestions on ways to address it. We learned that PvP gameplay means a lot of different things to a lot of different groups of players. As we started implementing more changes to attempt to improve PvP, we want to make sure that we are getting a lot of feedback from different players on these changes. We have been investing in fixing the old preview server that we used to test out some of these ideas with a limited set of players before they reach the live game. Some PvP rule changes we want to test with a broader audience in the live game itself in the form of limited time PvP mini events. This will let everyone try out some of these changes and provide feedback as to whether we think it's something we want to keep in the game or on a more permanent basis. These changes could possibly include changes to the bubble cooldown after you pop for damage protection, popping bubbles on relocation, or even rewarding players for time spent outside of a bubble. We've been starting to release more modern special ops and phasing out some of the less useful ones. I know we created a bit of panic when we last chanced the Titan special ops, but it was with the intent of replacing all of them with new Omega versions. I've received some feedback that there will still be some desire and to be able to get the existing weaker version because of the low price point. So Twin Titans will just be demoted in rarity, but sticking around at its current price, while the other two Titan-themed special ops will be removed and replaced with Omega versions. We'll be continuing to release new special ops going forward. It's been a long time since we've updated the resource spaces. As a result, collecting metal and oil has become one of the most tedious things to do in our game. We had temporarily addressed this with the Master Loot Spec Op, which reduced the grind, but as many have noted, you cannot run it at the same time as hookers. To address this, we're going to be finally releasing new resource bases with higher payouts. We will also be adding a chance to earn one of them newly released special ops in the tougher new resource bases, including Master Loot itself, which I did get today. Thorium bases are also receiving some updates, but we're not doing tougher difficulty and higher payout versions yet. Instead of changing all thorium bases to no longer require killing all the units and making some layout changes to compensate, including the reintroduction of the Birdcraft spotlights, which call more base-depending units to the base if your attacking units move inside them. Remember, you can destroy the spotlight buildings to remove the spotlights and avoid detection, but if you stop the attack and restart it, it's there again. I added that. We've been hearing some concerns about the hero. It happened to me today. We've been hearing some of the concerns about the hero token and defensive unique bases only being available on Saturdays. To better accommodate players with different schedules, we're going to start making hero token bases available on Tuesday and defensive unique bases available on Thursdays, in addition to their existing Saturday appearances. Another subject I often talk at length with player about is the balance between offense and defense. I will acknowledge that we've been releasing new units that continue to grow offensive power for players at a faster rate than we've been releasing enhancements to defense. The introduction of defensive uniques like the Judge and the Kraken were small steps towards trying to catch up a bit. Adding war prediction to all of our production buildings was another step, but we are currently working on even more building upgrades to boost defensive power. Specifically, I have heard a lot of complaints about the effectiveness of our turrets in the game. We'll be looking to add new kinds of turrets in addition to other kinds of defensive structures to meet the demands of the players. I'm excited about all the things we have planned for this year. Let me know what you're hoping to see in the game and what you think of the changes we'll be making. See you on the battlefield. That was Storm Chaser. A couple days ago, we posted this. It's still up. It's open. You can respond to it. And some of the things that I caught in there were the new turrets they're possibly coming out with. I think that right there is something that we have needed a long time. So, anybody else?
All right, we're gonna the best thing to do with a post like this is to segment it off and go through it one piece at a time.
Okay. And that's why I chose one.
Yes. So we might as well start at the beginning, shall we?
Well, good. Somebody
okay with that.
Yeah.
All right. So the upgrade times and the rebalance, it's what I call a quality of life pass, and it's been a long time coming. It's not the first time they've done this, but they've done this in a less bullshit way than they did prior. By doing the last set of rebalances, took away a year's worth of upgrade times from the game, but added 18 months back on when we'd done calculating it all out, which I thought was a crock of shit. So, what do you guys think of the current rebalance?
Oh, I still think they got a couple problems, but I mean, it's better. Let's be honest, it's better.
I think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, but what concerns me is we're knocking on the door of the next CC.
Yeah.
February's tomorrow. Now, we all know it's either going to be late February, early March that the new one's going to come out.
Late February would put it about the time of the event, so I don't think that would be appropriate, so it'll be March.
Well, isn't that what they did last time? Right after the event, they threw out the new CC?
Right after
well, how long was the last upgrade, though?
The last upgrade was August 15th.
No, how long did it take to upgrade that CC?
10 days.
10 days.
Exactly. So if they're looking to improve that time, I'm thinking it's going to be maybe half that, 5?
No.
You don't think?
No, you'll never see that. Never see that.
I think what they mean by improvement of upgrade times is anything under the CC, because the CC is supposed to be your pinnacle building, and everything.
That weapons lab should be fucking cut down too. 15 days for the final level. That's crazy.
If Kixeye have taken my advice, which I hope to God they have, that I gave Storm Chaser a long time ago, that any upgrade time should be no more than the last set. So with any new upgrade, you keep that as the new time. So the next CC should be 10 days. That's why all of the current CC times and everything else below it has taken a reduction. So you're still, I'm 98% certain it will be 10 days.
Well, they like that 10-day on the CC, let's be honest.
They do. They do like to keep it up
but
to
nothing
speed.
should be longer than the CC.
Nothing
All right,
should be longer than the CC.
Thank you all for crushing my dream.
You're welcome. That's what I do.
Also, let's be aware that they don't. I don't know if they just don't pay attention or they don't realize, but when they upgrade platforms or bunkers or towers and multiple things, they don't look at how many of them they have, and when they extend the times on upgrades of those, they don't do the math that there's 4 and 5 of those, so they automatically go, we only added 2 days. Yeah, 2 days times 5, for example, that's 10 days. Like they did with the towers, they what the last one? How many days was the last upgrade before they did the modification?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was 10 days apiece, wasn't it?
With the bunkers?
Yeah.
No, they went
7 days. It was 7 days.
7, 8, 9. I think it was like that.
So yeah, but then you got to times them by 5. And that's where Kickside bit themselves in the ass because everybody was going, yeah, you did great. You only made them 7 days times 5. It's 7 days, 8 days times 5. You buried us in the multiple buildings.
The game is evolve. It's as simple as that.
What's evolving got to do with the fact that the upgrade times are absurd?
You click and forget.
Well, click and forget.
Get on with your game.
Sometimes that doesn't always work.
Yeah, click and forget isn't a life motto to live by all the time.
No, it's not.
It's good. Don't get me wrong.
If you're going to be clock watching, that's fine. But I don't clock watch. I click it, upgrade it, and start playing the game. And when it's finished, whoopee-doo. At least we haven't got 3 months fucking upgrades like Battle Pirates. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I prefer them not,
for Christ's sake.
Yeah, well, I prefer them not to go into the 3 months of insane situation.
We haven't got it.
No, we don't got it right now. But if we don't voice our opinions, we're going to get it, and that's what's one of the points that if we didn't bring up the fact that the towers were times 5 the last time. They would have never did any changes. And I'm glad that we called them on it. And I'm glad we continue to call them on that mess. And I feel that we need to continue to call them on that. Because if we don't, they're going to keep going with it. So,
and they will.
You want to do shit on a Battle Pirates fucking ship, you have to stick it in a dry dock for like 3 months. We haven't got none of that.
Well, you know what's cool?
Thankful.
You know what's cool? This is War Commander.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't got that shit.
He does have a point. I mean, what you guys have that Battle Pirates don't is the quick build times.
They are.
One of their things, just to put it in perspective, and it's a similar thing happened on Vega. One of the main flag holes that they were using was a 40-day build. 48 days if you got it perfect. And it was the same thing with one of Vega's flagships. 40-day builds for weapons, armor, and the whole 9 yards.
But if you think about it, okay, that's a ship. We use individual smaller units. We're not using big ships. If we want to sit here and get everything teched out, built, applied, it's maybe not 40 days in the essence of like Battle Pirates, but our stuff isn't like overtime. But I mean, you got to sit here. You've got to acquire the tech. Rare tech, not easy to come by. So once you finally acquire it, then you've got to upgrade it. You've got to go through that upgrade time. Then you've got to put it on. Yeah, putting it on, that's not the problem. But I mean, we sit here and say, oh yeah, everything's so fucking quick in War Commander. Yeah, maybe compared to Battle Pirates, but we don't play Battle Pirates. We're not here doing a show about Battle Pirates and what they do and don't have. We're talking about War Commander and what we do and don't have.
And when they put out a unit,
don't want.
And then they put out a unit, and then they're at the same time, we're talking just one unit. and then there's you got to hit these 35 Omega bases to grab all these parts and everything, and then you have to continually upgrade, and then to go from elite to the other, from level 21 to level 31, you know, it's 7-day upgrades each, so you're talking 70 days just to get this unit up to where it's effective. And it's the same with the tech. Some of this tech is immediate. I like that they've done that, but when you start looking at like the diamond tech and whatnot, you know, the days and days and days, it's a lot to lock up one building for just one unit for one thing, you know. So
Especially when you've got 2 or 3 units that you need to do that with.
well, we started playing this game. You need to be consistent, right? And yes, they did kind of change paths at one point when they came up with a new SF. Things did change at that point, but everything was in War Commander. I think the reason why it got so popular is because it was immediate. A lot of the reward was immediate, and now, and then they introduced thorium, which was to help speed things along, you know. And it's turned out that now you need massive amount of metal and thorium just for the same long ass upgrade time or the same long build time or whatever, you know. It's different from those other games there. Maybe those changed. I don't know. I've never played those games, and I never will play another game besides this one on Kickside. So it's to me, it seems like the upgrade times have steadily increased to the point to where now it is a full-time freaking job if you want to play this game, and it never was like that before.
No, none of it's Kickside's MO. This one.
Mm-hmm. There's so many every we have events all the time. We have mini events all the time. We have all the Omega bases come out. There's a schedule for each and every single day. All these different bases come out, collecting the resource and all that stuff. And now that's all different. Everybody has to kind of rethink their process of how they're going to do that. And then on top of that, plan for the next event. And we live in this confined world. We're going to bump into each other. We're going to have wars. So there's going to be lots of interruptions and lots of things going on. And so many ways to fall behind and very few ways to keep caught up. So it's just, to me, if they can alleviate some of that time by making the upgrade times a little bit less, maybe it won't be so stressful to play the game.
When the last balance came out, I praised it as being good. And I hold that to account. I do, because it is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You praise Kickside when they do well, and you give them a fucking beating when they fuck up.
Oh yeah,
that's the MO we sit by doing any show, especially this one. You've got to be critical, but you've also got to be positive in some way. Not the ass-kissing way that some people expect, because people are assholes, and everybody knows this.
Well, they are making positive changes. I think whether some people do or do not, whether they like the new res bases or not, I do like the idea that I have an option to have, instead of a master loot and then being slow moving across the map, actually gathering all the resource I need in one hit, and being able to use my hookers. So I think that was the intent of why they made that change, and it's to me, it's a positive. So
I would agree.
I mean, I'm not trying to kick anybody in the teeth about talking about battle parts, but that right now that's like talking apples and oranges.
Yeah, it's a totally different setup, totally different plan, and I don't plan on going back. I don't plan on playing that game.
It may look different from the outset, but it's really not all that dissimilar when you look at the intricate workings of it. They have things that put them above par in some areas that could really be used in War Commander, like a fucking base planner for a start off. But on the other hand, you have instant gratification, whereas they don't. Well, I say instant with a push when it comes to getting access to new units. It may take you a little while to get them up to top spec, but you get them as is straight out of the gate without any upgrading or pushing of it. That's what a lot of the conversation has been, and that's how I interpret it anyway. It's not all the same, but it is the same at the same time, if that makes any sense.
Well, I like the idea of being able to max the, as long as you're willing to grind a little bit and get the thorium, that you can max your tech in just a few minutes instead of waiting, 6 days for it to be maxed for one unit. So, and that's just one tech, So I do like that idea. And so some of these changes that they're making are very, very good. But when it comes to like dealing with the exploits and whatnot and putting us all in this blanket coverage and screwing all of us, it looks like Storm was addressing that when he was talking about the exploits. And you guys were just talking about the very exploit of that we're all going to be seeing with these banks. So it's if everybody out there should pay attention to what they see. And when KixEye asks you for your opinion at the top, take the time, click that link, go there, give your 2 cents worth, and then you can't complain, right? You had your voice heard, and if everybody else agrees with you or the majority agrees with you, I'm pretty sure that the change will lean your way. So, as for this 10-second change that happened here, I did not like giving something to us and then taking it back from us. I felt like I was being punished, and now here we are going into an event, and that is being suspended. So it's here, it's not here. The consistency is something that I think that every game needs. So
consistency is something KixEye lack in spades.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, you should stick with the rules that you make. That's what I think.
My thing is they need to stop pacifying one demographic of the game, of the community. Instead of it, they've got to. It's like you made a rule, stand behind it. Don't change it because a small portion of the community dislikes it. If the yays are more than the nays, well, guess what? The yays have it.
Yeah.
But that's not how this works. Unfortunately, it's the Nancys, the naysayers, I'm crying because I have nothing better else to do with my time but cry about something that really doesn't affect me because I don't even PvP, but I don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, that's what it's come down to. They just don't like it, but it really doesn't affect them.
It's come to the me.
Yeah.
No, what bothers me is we got level 40s out there making decisions for upper levels. Sorry, you're a level 40. You're not an upper level.
Decision making should come from all player types and not just one demographic, as Queen just said. And I hate to repeat something that's already been done, but it's all a lot of the changes that have come out recently that I've seen myself have all come from the Discord ass kisses.
Well, like the previous server, at some point it was invite only and who you knew or whatever, but then it became first come first serve. There was limited, and then there were so many passwords, and then once that was over, then you couldn't get in. Now, when they're talking about choosing people to go in there and do this, are they choosing, what pool of players are they choosing from? The same ones that took that 10-minute rule from us? Or you see what I'm saying here? It's looking like we got the shadow. It's going to be hanging over top of our head until a change happens because we weren't invited into this server.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go.
They have not had a focus group since last September.
Nope, they have not.
So
What they are doing is they are talking to selective players in Discord and running things by them. They're not calling it a focus group, but they are talking to selective players.
We've covered this. We've covered this on the Sunday show and the Sunday show before that, Thursday show before that. I think that everybody else was up to speed here. I shouldn't have to deal it out, in little pieces for everybody. Everybody knows what I'm talking about here. There's a select group of people. Are those the ones that they're going to pick, or are these going to be from? I don't see how you could do it other than first come first serve. I really don't.
No,
because otherwise you're showing favorites.
Do it any other way, to be perfectly frank.
Well, we'll soon find out when they get the serve.
First serve was always a thing for the preview, and if you were quick enough, you were quick enough. If you weren't, then tough shit.
Well, there was a couple times they opened it up. I remember, and it was who you knew.
Fuck.
A few people got in.
Yeah, I was always in the preview server.
Yeah. Not always was I.
What were you going to say, Nutcracker?
I was going to say, we won't know until this preview server comes up again, because they are going to do it as in invites.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not going to open it to everybody. They're going to invite people to it.
Oh yeah, and we're kind of. I think they're kind of thinking, yeah, there's going to be an invite, but what demographic are they pulling from to send out those invites?
Yeah, is this going to be like
You know?
who's opened their wallet, or is this going to be someone that's involved in the color changing kids, or is it going to be someone that's picked because of another guy says, all right, I'm an expert player, I should be in there? I mean, how are they going to do it? Because
All
the
right.
changes are
Who
affecting all of us.
fucking cares?
Oh,
We
I
care, not
I
Cracker.
care.
That's the thing. We care.
I care because this last change with
I
the 10-minute
fucking
rule was that's
Well,
you.
that's your
You're
opinion,
one.
but this
You're
is
one.
this is everybody's opinion. This is what this is about. Everybody's opinion. And the thing is, if we keep saying who cares, it's going to go down to certain players. Once again, certain people making decisions that shouldn't be in there because they're too busy in the Discord, or they're not. They only play farm, or they only play with Corpus. They need to open it up to more people that play all the way that
Well, we can't
all the
complain
ways.
about it until it fucking comes, can we?
Well, it's already came.
It's coming.
No, we
already.
haven't got the pre-server.
Yeah,
Well,
all
this
right.
is-
So
no.
now you're talking the next step. All right.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
look,
whoa,
look,
whoa.
Let me straighten this out a little bit for you. The last 10-minute thing happened, and the majority of us did not want that change,
No.
but it happened. So, and it happened because a select few people's opinion mattered when the majorities didn't. So
Exactly.
that's exactly why I'm so
On what?
passionate about how they're going to select
On what?
the
What are
10
you
minute.
actually talking about?
The 10-minute re-hitting. They were so worried. These people, like that level 40 that we all know about, he was so worried that if he popped his little bubble, that this person could do a solo train on him. Well, the PvPers didn't give a shit. The PvPers didn't give a rat's ass about trains. Because you know what? We all know if we're going to pop our bubble, we have the opportunity that somebody's going to train us. Well, now it's this guy just sat there and hit me. So now we got these pink bubbles that people can't re-hit. They got to wait the 10 minutes. That's none of us wanted that. No real PvP player wanted that because we didn't give a shit. If we popped our bubble, we knew the consequences. We know the consequences. It's
And
the farmers that sat there and said, well, if I pop my bubble, I'm just going to sit there and get hit over and over by the same guy. Well, who gives a rat's ass? You pop your
get out there
bubble.
and sing his fucking tunes.
That's exactly it. Exactly. Get out there and fight.
If I
Okay.
pop my
There's-
bubble, I expect to get fucking hit.
That's it.
There's a lot coming from a very sedentary position here. Most of you, if not all on this panel, are generally more PvP focused than anything else, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
So yeah, you're from a sedentary position where PvP is your bread and butter. Whereas, yes, it's a war game and you do get hit and PvP is a thing. People play the game just specifically to farm. While I'm not siding with the level 40 crybaby, on the other hand, chuntering from a sedentary position does no good for us. It causes internal arguments with not only ourselves, but the player base in general. So with that, a little more open-mindedness is absolutely necessary.
Oh,
Yes,
I've been
and open-minded.
open-minded.
I'm down with being open-minded, but the thing was, this decision was made closed-minded.
Yeah.
They put out a poll, and
The poll got ignored, from what I understood.
exactly,
Poll got ignored.
exactly.
The poll, everybody screamed no, but yet it got done.
Okay, here's another thing you want to know about polls. Polls are advisory.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we got to go back to something that happened here a couple of years ago with a boat they asked the public to name, and they decided to call it Boaty McBoatface. And you know what they did? They called it the USS David Attenborough instead. Polls are advisory. They're not law-binding. They're not legally
Exactly.
binding. They're not bound to anything or anybody, and you're just going to have to suck it up on that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
my thing is, well, if they're not going to take our advisement, then why give us the opportunity to have an opinion?
and my thing is, why the hell are they listening to a person that absolutely has admitted, yes, he has admitted, I only play with Corpus. I only hit Corpus. Now we find out, oh, that's a lie because wait, I have my Romero and I have my Siege and I have my Herald. Oh, so that's not strictly Corpus. So
Rule of acquisition number 5: never be afraid to mislabel a product.
yeah, well, he's mislabeling himself and he's mislabeling and getting he's pushing information that he doesn't belong doing because he does not farm. All he does is farm. He does not jump. He does not hit. And
It's an extremely difficult argument to have. It's always going to be 6 of one, half a dozen t'other, and you're always going to be sat in the same position at the end of it.
Yeah, it's all part of the game.
While
You'll
listening,
get these people that do this, and you'll get these people that just want a PvP. You'll get these people that just want a PvE. It's
Yeah.
part of the bloody game.
Well, Kickside can tell who does what, and I don't know why. If they want answers about PvE, and great, go to those PvEers. But if you want answers about PvP, I'm not going to knock on their damn door to ask questions. Because you know what happens? We get shit we don't like.
that is to be expected with these kind of situations. I mean, you are at a point where you want X, Y, but the other guy, on the other hand, only wants Y and Z, so you have to compromise. So while some of these things that they've come out with haven't exactly been fantastic, and it's caused immediate uproar between a large percent of the community, and usually when uproars happen of that magnitude, Legion would always be my go-to on that one. Kixeye will be forced to compromise. And if enough pressure is put on them to make a change, then it will happen, as we've seen, the upgrade times. Some of the PvP changes have been good and others have been terrible, but as players, adapt or die, or adapt or quit. It happened before, it will happen again, and it will continue happening. And that's, I'm going to simply say, agree to disagree for the time being and let the plan fold out and push on to the next section of the text. Otherwise, we'll be here for another bloody hour and my brain will explode.
My brain's ready to explode. Look, I'm gonna close this subject just like this. Look, and a good question, by the way, out there, Charles, is why play the game if you don't PvP? I have no fucking answer for that. I don't have an answer for it because this is a war game.
Here's another question. Why buy a $3,000 gaming PC just to play War Commander?
Good question. Don't have an answer for that.
Exactly.
Look, here's the facts. The facts are this is a war game. I expect to get hit. I expect to hit. That's what I come here for. That's what I believe the game's all about. Yes, we got to do some farming if you want to keep hitting and be hit and so on and so on, but if you're going to sit there and ask a player that tries to play just one-sided, it's going to not make the game a real fucking bore for everybody. Eventually, it's all going to come to a halt. They got Kickside and the players all need to understand that this game is played many different ways, and listening to just one person is not getting the aspect of everybody.
So that's why I figured it was important to know how they were going to pick people for the preview server.
Exactly.
If that's how they're going to get their data. So if it was first come first serve, that's great. But it didn't sound like it to me.
No, it doesn't sound like it to me. It's going to be a select choice.
Yeah.
And
so,
and they did this select
curiosity.
choice. They did the select choice before. Remember Trusted Players? How'd that turn out?
I'm gonna rebuttal you real quick. You misheard the question. I said specifically, why buy a $3,000 gaming PC just to play War Commander? I didn't say play any other game. I said just to play War Commander. It was worded very carefully for a very specific reason, because there was no answer to that.
Nah, I couldn't do it.
Buying
I
a
play another
$3,000 gaming PC to play games, fine and dandy.
Playing just
I
War
read it
Commander, you don't need the
$1,000.
top of the line to play this game.
No, but some people think that they do.
And because Flash
Some
Player is
people don't.
only going to be is Flash Player. No matter how the best computer in the world, you still got to be off Flash.
Yeah, my really expensive video card doesn't come in handy at all playing this.
Yeah,
Neither does
no.
mine.
No,
I'm
never
free.
mind.
But it's all in the specifics and the semantics.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So glad mine was only 1,700. Whew, I didn't pay that extra half.
Well, we got 2 years left.
Mine was free.
All right.
Alrighty, let's move on. So we're gonna go bang into the Spec Ops, and I read this statement the other day when it was posted on the Situation Room. So I am up to speed for the most part on this already, and it's positive. We've been screaming for Spec Op changes for a long damn time.
I'm happy about it.
I'm happy with it.
Consensus is happy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Anything to make it better. There's so much bullcrap out there that was absolutely useless, like the bacon. Are you kidding me?
Bacon Brigade, yeah.
Sleigh bells.
Just useless
Sleigh
stuff.
bells.
I want my sleigh bells. Don't take them away from me.
Well, you're not going to get them anymore. They're all gone.
Oh, damn. See, I'm all unhappy.
I
now.
honestly think they could have done away with the Banshee one.
Yeah, the Banshee could have went to the wayside, too.
It's probably going to get pulled out. Everything in rotation. Resource bases.
Resource bases. It looks like I keep getting my master loot. I don't give a shit what they do to them.
And I like having the option. Anything to make moving across the map a little bit faster. Obviously, they didn't want to speed up the times, or they would have made that a change. But instead, what they did is they made it possible for us to get the resource we need without having to use something that takes up the slot that Hookers takes up. So at least we can move a little bit faster across there and still get the mission accomplished. So I like it.
Yeah,
We-
I mean, now basically you're getting what you were getting from the bases with Master Loot.
Yeah. These bases got a lot of potential. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good
Well, they've
thing
got
to
a-
have.
There's a bonus that we're getting. We're getting more damage.
Well, of course, but you know what? If they increase the payout, they should increase the
It
difficulty.
is fair.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
fair. That is
Just
correct.
got to reevaluate how you hit the bases. That's all.
Well, how
Yeah.
long did it take people to figure out the Iron Strike 60, for Christ's sake?
Not long at all.
Jerry.
That was for people who had Jerry. Back then, if you didn't have tech for Jerry, it wouldn't work.
So you got to get back to now. You've got to tap back into your tactics. Oh no, you actually have to have tactics.
Mhm.
Who would have thunk it?
You can't just go into a base and deploy all your air and just smash the thing in 10 seconds anymore.
Can't. Damn.
I've
that's
already
a-
put a video up for this.
Lots
And
of
then
videos are hitting. Lots
There
of
are
videos.
multiple options for multiple levels of people. If you want to go quick res, you probably go 2 or 3 and you get it done in a minute and a half, probably. I haven't actually looked at any of them, so I don't even know. But assuming with the old base, like the Iron Strike 60 would be, you would spend time picking apart the base and then just wiping it out at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
What?
can't do that now.
Yeah, there's still a lot of choices out there, and I really do like how wide the selection is. I do like the selection very much so, and I liked how they did multiple different bases. So to me, this is just more fun. It's more of a challenge to try different things instead of sitting doing the same old grind. Plus, besides, let's face it, the units they're using nowadays are a whole lot different than when those originally came out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Matter of fact,
The thorium bases are getting the update too. Any feedback on them?
I have not had a chance yet to do one. I've been so
Yeah, I've
busy
done
doing other
3.
stuff.
Yeah,
I've done
a few.
3 or 4 on test wise, and I'll get it down to about 5 minutes.
yeah. Look, there's. I'm sure within the next couple of weeks there'll be hundreds of videos, hundreds of different ways to do these bases. People will figure them out.
We'll be doing these on Ruby in a month or two.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking about I'm doing them on Ruby now.
Well, I'm still gonna miss my 75s. That's all there is to it.
I'm gonna miss the 75s the way they were. I know they're still out there, and I'm gonna take a look at it. But I heard they did some changes. I personally think this was overdue kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
I
now
think
if they
it's
just
good.
get those fucking depots off the map, we'll be
hey,
good.
that would be a miracle right there.
I
Do
mean,
you
one of my
understand how many people would be devastated if you took the depots off the map?
They're useless. We've all had 400 and 500 of them, and they don't do shit for you. So
Bitcoin admitted they cause lag.
yeah, get rid of them.
Get rid of them. And
But what are we going to start wars over?
other things. Plus, on
Use of the
top of
word
it,
mom.
You said my mama wore combat boots. I'm
That's
coming after
right.
you.
That's right. She wore
Your mom was
combat
so fat,
flippers.
Thanos had to snap twice.
plus, guys, let's be honest. I mean, if they take the depots off the map, they open more spawning points for a lot of more bases. So maybe during the event, we won't have to travel 2 minutes for a base.
You
Yeah.
wish.
I know, but I'm dreaming actually.
Just because it's
So,
you, Roy, it's now 5
See,
minutes.
he's doing this optimistic thing that the Doc mentioned earlier. He's being optimistic. He's being positive.
We're
Trying.
not going to be
I'm sure Queen makes
losing.
it across the map pretty quick with that thong platoon that she has. I bet everybody gets out of the way when she waggles that thing by.
Ah, you ass.
We're not going to lose depots because the next thing that they're going to be coming with is the amount of depots you got that will benefit your clan.
Well, actually, if you read into the full description, when Storm Chaser said is they're going to get rid of this example of a depot and come out with a new one that will be less lag, and that will be part of the more depots, the buff for the clan.
Yes, which will lead into the fact that the more
But
depots a clan has, the more they will benefit.
And he said they are going to reduce the percentage of them, so it's going to be harder for your clans to keep them. But in my clan, I honestly don't think, even if we get a big buff from it, I don't think many people are going to keep them because we jump a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for those that don't, they will benefit.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like everything. It all depends on how you play this game.
Yeah, we just give them all to one base that we know doesn't jump. Simple as that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't see that being a good thing, but we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. All right. Anything else we want to cover before we get the hell out of here?
The last thing on the list is the balance between offense and defense. And we've all gone on about this to extent for a long time. Offensive units have just got bigger and stronger and more powerful and could crater your base in a matter of minutes, like the Jug when it came out. And over time, yeah, it gets defensible and people figure out layouts and base platoons and all that 9 yards. In this particular one, they're making steps to introduce defensive units like the Judge and the Kraken, even though the Judge is a piece of shit. And overall,
New turrets.
The new turrets are going to be a thing. They're going to be a thing. Now, depending on how they decide to release them, they could be just an unlock, or there could be a whole cast of things.
Mm.
So we've just got to sit and wait to see what they come out with, because there hasn't been any new turrets since the bloody heavy turrets came out.
No, I think
Avalanche was the last.
Yeah, they upgraded the Avalanche levels.
Yeah, that's all they did.
I mean, as far as giving us new turrets, yeah, we got
Railgun and Hunter.
the Realm, the Flak. No, the Realm, the Flak, and then we got the Shield.
Yeah.
As far as new turrets go.
Well, let's see what happens next.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
I will say one thing I've noticed, and I've seen a lot more of this lately, and this is coming from players of all levels, not just, low-level players or just high-level players. It's been a pretty unanimous thing. There's been a big, big scream for slowing down on introduction of more units.
that's going to happen regardless, and there's nothing we can do.
No, they're never going to change that.
Oh no,
It keeps
I'm
evolving.
just saying. I'm just saying.
But thinking about the new unit with the shadow ops, as what chat's talking about here, somebody said that isn't that really just a reskinned Herald? And Dr. Bill said yes, pretty much. But you thinking about it, it could have been just a tech for the Herald to do the same effect, just like when you go in and you're changing your changing one unit to have a rocket turret or to have a fire turret.
Wait a minute. I don't see it as a reskinned Herald because this thing's going to have much more health. I guarantee it. Just like every other new unit that comes out. When the Herald came out, everybody's crying about the health on that. Same with the Jug. Now with the Nova, the Prophet, the health on this thing's probably going to be way out of control. It's going to be hard to shoot down. Watch.
Yeah, well,
so it has the same asset as a Herald does.
Yeah, and just a tech, a hard to get tech that gives you a huge boost in armor. Could have done the same thing. Could have brought the health up, and changing the weapon is just like everything else. We make these choices, as to how you're going to set your units up. They could have gone a different way than creating another unit.
Well, they got to make something.
Yeah, they got to do something for Shadow Ops, and they just sure did. Then again, they could always make the Omega Legion.
Shut your face.
No, we don't want that.
That'll never happen.
A new mine building, please.
Oh, no, a new mine building would be something that we could use because current mines are shit.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to sit inside my base, inside my bubble, and launch missiles all the way across the map too. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nah, can't touch me. Can't touch me.
That's right.
All right, calm down, Kim Jong.
Oh, don't do that. My ribs hurting, man.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we get the hell out of here?
Something besides some short, crazy guy.
I'm sorry, Devious. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you said guy, not woman, because you might have.
If we'd have said woman, global feminists would have had a field day. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
If there's a woman, he would have already launched
feminist.
missiles.
I'm not a feminist, but short woman I am.
Exactly. That's why I was expecting someone to get all pissy about it.
I'm not getting all pissy, but fuck you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's we're gonna do our shout outs and get the hell out of here. Devious, why don't you let us start us off and before we can get the hell out of here.
Well, I'd like to shout out to the panel, everybody on it. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Dr. Phil, for your efforts again. And thank you to Storm Chaser for putting such a long note out there for us to read. And thanks to the community for showing up and being active and proactive or whatever inside the chat. Enjoy having you guys around. Thank you, Roy, for all you do.
Okay, next.
That would be Sonia.
Oh,
Sonia.
Shout out to the panel, to War Commander, to our lovely viewers, and everything and everybody. And I'm tired, so bye-bye.
Happy. I don't even know if she's still here.
I do not believe so. She hasn't said anything for a while.
Yeah. Queen, go for it.
Shout out to the panel. Thank you, Devious, for reading all that. You saved my eyeballs a lot of bouncing around because that's why that's why I don't like reading, because I'll start reading something and for some reason I'll jump up to the paragraph that I've already read. But I do read. I'm not illiterate, but he just saved me a lot of headache.
I so wish we would have showed a screenshot of that guy that hit your base that lost every Omega unit that he had. We should have done that. That right there was the worst hit of the week. We need to go back to doing that again.
Room after the show.
That was amazing. You should have seen it. It was a long list.
I'm going to start a new segment.
But yeah, shout out to the panel, everybody here. Love all the different opinions. Love that we even get into some little heated debates about it. It's good. That means we're not all sheep and we don't think like I like it. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Thanks for showing up on your Thursday night. The weekend's coming, so have a great weekend and good luck on your warpath.
Okay. Nutcracker.
Fucking hell, thank fuck, I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you when I see you.
Doc.
Do you want to go first? Because I'll wrap up.
Sure, but you're gonna hit the end button because I gotta step away.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Shout out to everybody that comes out here and puts up with my big mouth. Season more past some of you. Some of you, I'm sure, will be hunting me down as usual. I do have my friends in my enemy list. On that note, everybody be safe, and Doc, it's all yours.
Okay, all right. I want to first of all, I'm going to shout out to Devious for reading Stormchaser's bloody note, so I didn't have to. Of course, there's with posts like that, works in progress, state of the game sort of deals. There's positives and negatives. It's mostly positive. There are some negative things that have to be brought to light, which I think we did a little dysfunctionally, but we managed to do it anyway. But that's what War Commander is. It's a big dysfunctional family.
If it was a dysfunctional, something would be wrong.
That is
No
so
shit.
correct.
No shit. So yeah, all in all, it's not been bad. Of course, shout out to the YouTube and some of the discussions in there that always amuse me. Of course, shout out to you guys on the panel. We will see you on Sunday at 3 or 6. I can never fucking remember.
It's 6 p.m. Eastern.
I can never remember.
6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern Sunday.
10 p.m. UK.
Yeah, that's the one I know. So, as usual, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and fuck off. Good night, everybody.